Welcome to Ransom Notes,
Open houses.
Episode 6.
Who are they for?
Agents. Open houses, primarily, are for agents, in my opinion.
You just gave away one of the biggest secrets in real estate.
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret, and if it has been a secret to you, well, then you just really haven't thought about it or looked into it.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're coming back. Pre-pandemic, 50% of my business, roughly, came from meeting people in open houses, neighbors, potential future listings from those neighbors, buyers I've only sold one house off an open house where the person actually purchased the home that the open house was being held at.
Yeah, I did that. It wasn't that day. I met them there, and then they ended up buying that house.
Yeah.
Once. Twice.
They bought it twice?
No.
Not either
Two
twice.
different people.
Hey, good for you. Double commission, Davis. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I guess there could be some benefits, but I was talking with Travis, Jody's assistant / manager, what'd you call him earlier?
Operations.
He's the operations dude. He makes shit go smooth over there.
Yeah.
He's the X-Lax of the group. But, yeah, he was kind of explaining that there is, I think, somewhat of a little bit of a benefit only because open houses have been gone for a year. So doing them now, like, we don't know what's going to happen. This is, I think, the first weekend they're going to actually start allowing open houses again. And I tend to agree with him a little bit. I think from people not being able to go out there, and if you want to look at a home, especially over the last couple months, like you're putting in offers, there's a good chance that you didn't get your offer accepted, and you don't want to have to go through that process and sign the PEDs and DocuSign them back, set up an appointment, because shit comes up. It's nice to have a window. And especially for an agent like you or me, like we're getting so many calls when we put a new listing up and having to schedule so many people. It's a lot nicer just to say, hey, we're 1 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Send your clients through. Feel free to come through with them. Bring a mask. We'll have PEDs at the door. A PED, for those of you that don't know, is like...
I don't have corona form.
It's stating that I do not have coronavirus and I will be entering your property. And it's a pain in the butt to have to...
Makes showings harder.
It makes showings very hard.
So, yeah, open houses for me have always been a lead generator. Like, majority of my business comes from meeting people at open houses, but they do benefit the seller in some ways, because if the listing agent is the person holding it open, you can sell the property on things that might not come across clearly in a description or in the photos on the MLS. So you can talk with the person, because you don't know how their agent, what if their agent is their cousin from like out of area? They might not know certain things about that house or that neighborhood.
Well, just to kind of cut off so people don't think we don't show up for showings, that's actually the reason why you and I try to be at every single one of our showings, even if there's another agent present, because that's kind of the reason we're getting hired, is because we know those neighborhoods. Davis knows Naples better than I think most people. And I know downtown more than most agents. You need any kind of questions about like block by block zoning, what you can do, what you can't do, and just all the shit that you really can't find online. It's like you need someone to explain that to you. It's like you said.
You got hired to sell that house, so sell it.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that benefit to open houses. You get to cram people through. But as far as actually finding people to buy your home, I don't know.
Well, you do get to meet the nosy neighbors, too.
Yeah, you do. Again, just another benefit for the agent and not so much the actual seller of the home.
Yeah, I think coming up, like you said, it's going to change a little bit where it'll just make showings easier.
Yeah.
So rather than kicking out the homeowner if they live there every day for multiple hours, you can just say, you know what, we're going to only do showings this weekend. And we're just going to hold it open rather than blocking off time. We're going to let 100 people through.
Yeah.
So that'll help. I don't know that open houses are going to jump back to the way they were before, just because some people are still nervous or not used to going out in public anymore because they've been living under a rock for the last year. So that might take a little bit of time for people just to get comfortable walking around.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't really think about that too much. I just kind of go off how I feel, and I'm not really too worried. I mean, I have a really good immune system. I'm healthy. I'm in my 30s. I'm very, very, very low risk. So if someone's at a house and there's other people in there, I really don't care. If I get sick, I'm more than likely
Couldn't take the few days off.
I mean, I'll do that, and But that's just because I'm lazy, not because I'm feeling ill.
Yeah. Yeah. So open houses, we talked about it before we started recording. Do you think there's a price limit
Yeah, no. I
where they're
don't.
effective?
I'm just going to go say no. I think they can be effective anywhere. I know that you were trying to talk to me about like those upper like 10, $20 million listings. And I don't know. What do we say about that? If people are looking at $10, $20 million listings, usually the first showing is probably not going to be them. They're
Yeah,
probably going
like
to send their agent or a friend.
it kind of goes both ways. The way I think of it is you work the same as I do. We want to do the best for our sellers. We're not just turn and burn. Like, we're here to work with you. I personally, if I own that house, wouldn't want just random people walking through.
Right.
So I don't think they're effective because I'm leaning towards the seller's feelings of why do I want all these random people in my house? Maybe they can afford it, maybe they can't. So why are we even allowing it?
Yeah.
Why don't we just wait and make sure they can afford it?
That's a good point.
I don't think they're effective in the fact that if you're going to buy $100 million house, do you really think it's going to sell because of that open house?
Can we take it back down to 20 million? Because I still want to make some arguments here. And I do feel like
Okay, so call it 5 million.
okay, let's do 5. Yes, I think, well, especially around here. Let's go
Depends-
10.
Okay, it
Let's go
depends
10
on your
million.
area.
Because
So
at 10
10
million,
million.
there's a shit ton of $5 million houses.
Is
in
someone
Newport.
not going to buy the house because they didn't come into it? Or is someone going to come in and just go, you know what, I'll take it? Like 10 million is not really an impulse buy. I know houses aren't impulse buys, but
Yeah, it's. I think it depends on a lot of different issues, like, or not issues, but things that are surrounding the house. It depends on the square footage. If that house is $7-10 million because it's like beachfront prime location, and it's a 2,000 square foot house, I think, yeah, that's something you can handle on your own. What I was kind of worried about is when you start getting up into the 6,000-7,000 square foot plus homes.
oh,
You're
I've
one
had
agent.
condos that we had to have 2 agents out because
Really?
there's 2 floors.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's better safe than sorry. I ran into that for a long time here in downtown. For a while, there was like this. It's probably still going on, or would be if their open houses were still going on. But people would literally come through, pretend to be interested, and obviously they have like sand on their feet. And I just became a dick and started saying no. And one guy's like, "Oh, if I'm gonna report you," and I was just like, "I don't to fucking who? I don't give a shit."
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You're there to look after the homeowner's stuff. Their stuff is in there.
Yeah.
Like, they have jewelry. Like, you have to be attentive and make sure that people aren't in there.
It was pills. They were going through everyone's like medicine cabinets and taking all the oxy.
Yeah,
and
so
all the other stuff. I think.
sorry, you can't come in. Or I've kicked one person out once, and it's because they had this huge bag, and I said you can either leave your bag outside,
Yeah.
or not come through.
They left.
I think they did, but that's like, it just depends too. Like, do you have a really busy open house, or is it like one person every 20 minutes where you can kind of walk through with them?
Yeah, if that's the case, then I think they're beneficial. But yeah, or if there's like security cameras throughout too, which typically you're not going to find them in bathrooms, obviously, master bedrooms and stuff like that. So like, yeah, any open house. I mean, but that's the same for like a $500,000 property.
All right, so I agree with you. If the house is vacant, then go ahead. But if it's not, I don't know.
That's
I
the
probably
conclusion.
wouldn't do it just
Yeah.
because it's not worth it for the seller.
Yeah. So well, to your point, then, if we go back to price point, it sounds like everything I've kind of said kind of leans towards like basically just trying to save time with like coordinating 20. So if you have a house that's under, because obviously we both know $10 million plus, you're not getting 20 offers in the first weekend.
But
So
if you have 100 showings, then yeah, maybe
yeah,
maybe cancel them all and say, you know what, you're gonna overlap. We're doing an open house.
yeah, if you're getting 100 showings on a $10 million house in your first weekend, you are horrible at pricing out properties.
True.
And then you just need to be fired immediately.
And if you're the one selling, our contact information is below.
It is not, but just look us. I don't know. Just don't contact us. Oh, and also
The
let us-
sellers shouldn't? No, we want those listings.
Yeah, we do. I'm very curious though. If you are rich and you follow me, let me know, because I have no data to support that. I'm just kind of assuming from stupid TV shows I've seen, where a guy will come look at that. We watched that like one of the first episodes of that like Hamptons show.
Yeah.
And the guy
Yeah,
came, he's like, oh,
selling,
it's a. He started talking about the art, and it was a guy that came to look at the property for the actual buyer.
It was
And
like an assistant or something.
yeah, and I don't know. Does that really happen? So again, if you've bought a house that's over $10 million, like I'm not gonna bug you. I just want to know: do you go look at the properties yourself, or do you send somebody on the first viewing?
Or put it in the comments. How have you bought your house? Have you looked at it, or has someone else looked at it for you?
A lot of agents follow me. Don't put it in the comments because you're gonna get a shit ton of follows from people that are gonna reach out to you and start bugging the fuck out of you.
Okay.
So DM us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that wraps that up. If you have any other questions about open houses, feel free. Call either one of us. You can message us, and we'll give you the information that.
But what you can put in the comments is what you want us to talk about.
Oh yeah, we are looking for more topics. We're probably gonna start running out here in a little while, and if you leave the topic selection up to me, I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah, we don't
want
want to
that.
choose the topics.
Nobody wants that. All right. Well, till next time.
Thanks for having me.
Fucking you right there.
What?
You're literally just sitting outside my office every time I come in here. That's why I started this podcast. I was like, well, if you're gonna fucking be here, at least give some information to my clientele. You do. That's better than my van.
You didn't see the sleeping bag?
Oh shit.